Hello, and good day to all friends. This is Moshtaba Rasti speaking from the Thales Group, and today is January 27th, 2026. I'm here with you with a weekly update, reviewing a weekly outlook, and examining the entry trades since last Friday. Up until now, for the contract expiring at the end of the week, January 30th, I also want to apologize for the long delay that happened. My friends are probably aware, due to the unfortunate events that occurred in our country, Iran, and the very severe internet outage that took place. I actually didn't have access to update the videos, and even now I'm using a very limited internet connection. We're uploading these with very low quality, and with a lot of difficulty, actually. Alright, let's actually take a look at the market situation, just like we talked about before. In the process database of trades from January 23rd up to now for the January 30th expiration and open interest, we didn't consider the closed trades anymore for this analysis. 5,866 bitcoins have been placed in 278 contracts. Options have been entered since last Friday for January 30th. What's the result? The result is that all the trades that entered at the start of the week saw a corrective move below 82,300 as profitable. What's the result? This was the outcome of that move, meaning if we go back a week, we were probably around these levels. Look, the 23rd was around here from these points. In fact, we took trades at that level. See, how far did the drop go? Down to 86 and 100, down to 8,600. The target here was 8,500 and 300, so we moved pretty close to this target. Part of this downward move that we've seen has happened. Part of this drop has occurred. Look, if we turn on the delta, the gamma of these put buyers was at 86 and 686, which we really noticed. In fact, we saw it, we almost hit the target, and then bounced back up. If we move the slider forward gradually, you'll see. This bearish outlook has also intensified with the recent incoming trades. It turned into a volatile situation. A volatility between 87 and 93, meaning our floor is around 86 to 87 and our ceiling is 93. This is the short gamma we have. In other words, on average, it's kind of a sale of calls and puts, with the strike being 89. Basically, the strike is 89. As you can see from the delta, there's a kind of floor, and the peak of this floor could be around 83 as well. And a ceiling around 94 to 95. That's where we are at the end of the year. The important thing is that as we move the slider forward, the intensity of this bearish outlook has decreased. Look, as we move forward, you can see here. Here's the floor. Do you see it here? Right here, the floor. Oh man, the floor is a bit. You get the sense. Yeah, the floor is a bit. It's moved higher. The floor has become 86 and 800, and here we went up to 96. Again, a bit further ahead, you can see there's a slight bearish outlook. Here again, the peak of our put sales is at the delta peak of 87, and the call sales are actually at 95 and 700. And for example, it shows, and look here, these are the trades. Recently, it's taken on a bullish trend. This has become like a spread. It looks like a spread, where the peak profit is here at 80 and 700, and around 90 is being watched. Of course, the short gamma has actually allowed for movement up to around 90. After that, the red curve's movement in profit happens with a gentle slope. It happens, meaning it's not very likely, so that sharp downward move we saw here at the end of the week. It seems like it was the same drop you see here, that fear-driven drop that happened. Well, it seems like that's already passed. Let's quickly take a look. Let's check out the details of the trades, or rather, let's look at the contracts. We'll set the size to 10 and above. Alright, there are a lot of trades to review. For 50 and above, there are 35 trades, and for 100 and above, there are 15 trades. For example, we can say for 60 and above, there are 22 trades, 60 Bitcoin and up. We have that, and you can see the index as well. Among the indicators we have, there's a 500 Bitcoin position that was entered on January 26th, yesterday. A 500 Bitcoin short put with a floor set at 85. So we can go even lower, but let's see if it reaches 85. Pretty much here. We can go lower too, but, well, on this one. With this move, we've gotten really close to 85, since the floor is 85. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it'll go all the way down to 85, or that it won't go lower than 85. Well, this applies here too, so we might stay above 85, and maybe this whole move was just that. But anyway, this is actually about the 500. Bitcoin has seen the end of the downward move at 85. Here, for example, we have a 74 Bitcoin long put. 60,000. This one has really taken a bearish position. But well, it's not a block trade. And honestly, it's not that heavy either, at least not in that sense. Again, look here. Today, we had two trades. The two trades that came in today, January 27th, one for 100 Bitcoin and one for 125 Bitcoin. Short put at 89. So, the floor for January 30th is 89. You can see that, well, there's no bullish outlook here, and look at this. Again, 100 Bitcoin short call at 86. And we've got a long put at 88. Let's go with 100 Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the strategies. Take a look. Here, these aren't just random things. These are strategies. These two are strategies. Let's see. It's probably a bearish spread that goes down to 82. Look. This spread even considers a move down to 82, with an average profit at 80 and 50, and they saw 84 as well. It's 500, which was actually on January 23rd. Last Friday itself, this fear was before this drop, and again here we can say, this trader sees that the price has come down to 86. If the price reaches 86, if it has come down, it's right on the verge of turning a profit. The trader entered, but the price bounced back. Can it go lower again, as others see it? We need to see if this trader still has room. Still not yet. The highest profit this one saw was around 83. Alright, so this is here too, and probably, yes, this is another spread. So in total, what do we have? Look, in total, 400 Bitcoin spread. A bearish move around its peak at 82 to 83. Right, here too, there's a position, and here as well. 200 Bitcoin long put at 85. Again, before, look, this is January 25th, right in the middle of this downward move. See? Here, it's the peak of fear and the move downward. It saw that drop. It went down to 85, which again means part of this trader's target has been achieved. The move went in the direction of that trader's goal, right? Okay, let's close this one too. We have two at 75, and these two at 70. Here again, we have 62 to 60. Again, a bearish spread, this one from 82 to 82 as well. It was anticipating a price drop, and now, basically, we don't have any more strategy left. As you saw overall, look, in this way, the overall situation is a bit hard to interpret. In a way, it has anticipated movement in both directions, but if you look at the red candles for the upward movement, you can see there's a higher probability. Now, if we look at the delta here and move downward, 85 marks the start of the base. 84, 85 marks the start of the base. It's the beginning of put selling, with its peak at 81. That is, the average of put sales. Here, based on these trades, it's 81. But ahead, we see an increase in delta along with a price increase. We have a rising delta, but it requires paying a premium. See here? The strike goes up by a cent, delta increases, but the red curve goes into a loss, and the buyer has to bear this loss until it turns profitable. So, well, here, based on the strategies, we see that many of these traders actually seem to be expecting a move even toward 83 to 84, which, well, fits with what we discussed earlier. Meaning, a move upward and then a pullback downward could happen. Now we have to see how things will play out by the end of the week. Thank you for your attention. I hope this was helpful, and until the next analysis, goodbye.